as we all know that we had been working with many programming languages till date in different subjects. Prolog is the new one for us. So we need to discuss about the difference between Prolog and other programming languages, how to write the sample Prolog program, what is the structure of Prolog, and so on. So let me share the screen and we'll be discussing how to write Prolog program and why we will be using Prolog. Okay. So, as we start with Prolog, first of all, we will focus on the name of the language, Prolog. So, Prolog indicates the name programming with logic, logic programming. How Prolog is different than other programming languages? That is, first of all, we are going to discuss. By now, we have studied many languages like C, C++, Java, and so on. All these languages were the languages we have used for writing applications or programs for performing certain tasks, activities, projects, calculations, which was very tedious or which was very complicated, so that for human it was not, it was very difficult, and hence we wanted computer to perform that. So the computer's processing power was higher in those fields, and for those applications we had used these languages. The context of Prolog is entirely different than all these languages. Prolog is a language which is used for writing the program which is going to assert knowledge or common sense to computers. So this is the way how we are going to make computers behave better and smarter in the fields where right now humans are performing smarter and better. So earlier to Prolog, there had been the other programming languages used in AI, that was Lisp. So before we start with the structure of Prolog, if we see the hierarchy of computer languages, we know we had first generation language, second generation language, third generation language, and fourth generation languages. I won't go in all details because we already know that machine language, that is binary language, is first generation language. What all problems we had with it, so we had second generation language, that is assembly language. Again, because of its restrictive nature, we came up with the third generation language, and these languages are C, C++, Java, and so on, where we are writing the program much similar to English like statements. And to convert that to machine language, we'll have language processors. But still, these languages are the languages which restricts you as per the grammar or syntax, and you have to write the program in specific format only. Prolog is different. Prolog is considered as the fourth generation programming language, and it is providing you complete freedom of writing your own program in your own way as whatever you think about. So we are going to discuss today the basics of Prolog programming. So the basic Prolog program is nothing but the knowledge that you insert to computer for performing some task. So it is not instruction. When you write C, C++ or Java program, what you say, you are writing a program means you are giving set of instructions so that computer will perform something, what to do. So the other programming languages are focusing on what to do. They are instructing computer steps to do. While in Prolog, the program which you write is basically focusing on providing knowledge to computer. So creating the knowledge base is the main thing that you are going to do with the program. Also, you are going to have certain procedures, that is rules written, which are going to manipulate your facts. So these all things we are going to discuss today. Okay, fine. So before we start with Prolog, there are different Prolog flavors available. So we just will refer to the name of them. So we have Toy Prolog Interpreter, SWI Prolog, GNU Prolog. There are certain free Prolog compiler and implementations are also available. If you compare all, SWI Prolog is the version which is most popular. If you want to download that, you can simply search about SWI Prolog download, free download, and you can get it. For initial 2 to 3 labs, we are going to perform Prolog program in online editor only. Afterwards, I'll show you how to compile and execute program on SWI Prolog also. Mostly in all the flavors of Prolog, the syntax remains the same. There will be minor changes here and there that also we'll discuss as and when it will be required. Okay. Now, how Prolog is different than other programming languages, as we just discussed that Prolog is focusing on providing information or knowledge to computer instead of telling computer instructions to perform. Okay, fine. So the kind of output that Prolog program is going to give you, it is not going to give you output in form of result of complicated calculations, but mostly it will return you result in form of yes or no, true or false, or the answer of the certain simple calculations. Okay, depending on what fact, what knowledge you have asserted in the form of program to computer. Now, before we start with Prolog program, there are some generalized instructions that you must remember. The first is Prolog is case sensitive language. In Prolog, small case letter and capital case letter have different meanings. So when I write capital A and when I write small a, both are treated differently. Now, what is the difference between them? We are going to discuss after 2-3 slides. So I won't repeat it right now. Okay, the second instruction that you need to remember is each and every statement of Prolog must end with a full stop. It is compulsory to end it with a full stop. Now, to understand the basic structure of a very simple and basic Prolog program, we are going to discuss a sample relationship program, and we will see how a sample Prolog program can be written. So basically, a Prolog program will contain three things: facts, rules, and queries. So facts and rules are what you are going to write in your program, and queries are the part that you are going to ask once program will execute. So you have to provide information or knowledge to computer, and that is done with the help of facts and rules. So let us try to understand how we are going to write facts, what are facts and what are rules. Any Prolog program can never be written without facts. Facts are compulsory, though rules are not compulsory. Rules are optional. You can write a basic program, Prolog program, which has only facts, no rule. But you cannot write any Prolog program with only rules and no fact. So facts are the basic information which you are inserting in your Prolog program. It is compulsory. Now what we mean by fact? Facts are real world truth. Whatever real world truth you have, it is called fact. Let us take some example. When I say Tom is father of Bob, I am indicating some fact related to two persons, Tom and Bob, and a relationship between them. So if you want computer to understand this, you need to write a kind of instruction or a kind of statement. So how we are going to provide this information to computer? Whenever such fact is given, you have to identify generic information out of the statement. What is generic information here? Father. What are specific values that you have passed here? Tom and Bob. So whatever generic information you have, you need to select as the name of predicate. What is a predicate? Name of a relationship that you are going to explain to computer. Relationship is also, predicate is also called many a times in Prolog versions as procedures. Just like you create functions, here you create predicates. Just like you have procedures, here you create predicates. Like procedures, predicates will also have arguments, right? So here you have to select the name of predicate. What should be selected as name of predicate? The most generalized word that you have in your statement should be selected as predicate. So here the most generalized relationship is father. So we will select father as predicate, and what will be the specific, what are the specific value? Tom and Bob. So name of the predicate, then have round brackets. Inside round brackets, write down as many constant values, as many specific value as you have separated by comma. Let us take one more example. Tom is male. So again, this is a fact. But what is generalized information here? The gender information. Whereas Tom, name of the person, is very specific. So what is going to be name of predicate or procedure here? Male. So we will write male. Then in bracket, round brackets, we are going to write Tom. Now see, it is not necessary that this fact can be written like this only. You can write here this fact another way also. You may write it like gender in round bracket, Tom, comma, male. We will see this with example later when we are going to do the program. So what I'm trying to convey over here is, whenever an English like fact is given, to convert that to equivalent prologue predicates, you can select the name of predicate and number of arguments that you want to pass on your own, depending on your own understanding. What care you need to take? Only care that you have to take is, then onwards, wherever you will be referring that predicate, you should be using the same name and same number of arguments. Now see, observe over here. Wherever I have written predicate names, father or male, they are written in small case letter. So what that indicates? That name of the predicates, name of the procedure should always be small in small case letter only. You cannot use capital letter over here. It is compulsory. Also, if you observe the specific values, the constant values which I have passed in round brackets separated by comma or standalone, they are also written in small case. Even if the name of Tom and Bob starts with capital letter in English language, when I am creating a predicate, I am writing that argument in small case letter. Why? Because in prologue, whatever constant value you have to pass, that constant should always be written in small case only. Why? Let us understand that. Prologue variables. In prologue, anything you write in capital or any word which starts with capital is considered as variable. So if suppose I write SUM but S is capital, then SUM is considered as variable as S is capital written here. If I write capital A, again it is a variable because A is capital. If I write total, it is again variable. Why? Because T is written over here capital. If I write 10 value, numeric value, then it will be considered as numeric constants. Now observe a word written over here with constant, it is atom. In prologue, constants are also called atoms. Constants are also referred as atoms. So wherever now I will use the word atom, you should consider that as constant. So 10 is a constant. If I write small x, then again it is a constant. Whatever don't start with capital letter is considered as constant value. So coming back to previous example, Tom and Bob, they are written in small case. And hence, Tom and Bob both are constants which you are passing. Just like if you have written user defined function add and you are passing x comma y. Okay, then you may be passing constant value 10 comma 15. That is a constant value. Similarly here Tom and Bob, they are constant values which you are passing as argument here. Okay. What is a rule? Now see, as I have said earlier, writing rule is not compulsory, but for manipulating information or knowledge that you have given to your computer in form of prologue program, you need to write certain rules. So what is a rule in prologue? Rules are something which depends on facts. Whenever your fact is true or false, depending on that, when some action need to be performed, you can write that action in form of rules. Means rule is going to be true based on whether the fact is true or not. Let us take example so it will be more clear. Suppose I have written a relationship parent Tom comma Bob full stop. So what fact it indicates? It indicates the fact that Tom is parent of Bob. The second statement, parent Alex comma Susan. What fact it indicates? Alex is parent of Susan. So the statements I have written in red both are facts. Now it is compulsory. Suppose I want to write a rule. What kind of rule? See, for us humans, it is very easy to interrelate things. So if I provide you a fact that Tom is parent of Bob, and after that as a human, if I'll ask you a question that what is name of Tom's child, you will be easily answering my question that Bob. But if you will ask the same question to computer won't answer. Why? Because computer knows about the relationship parent, but computer don't know about the relationship child. So you have to explain computer that reverse of parent is child. Then only computer will understand. So for such manipulation, what we need to do is we need to write rules. So for example, I have written a basic rule here, child in bracket, Bob, comma, Tom, the reverse of the first fact. Then colon, hyphen, parent, Tom, comma, Bob, full stop. So what you can observe here is, in the rule, you write something on left side, then you have colon, hyphen, and then you write something on right side. So what you write on left side is called head of the rule. What you write on right side is called body of the rule. What you will write on head of the rule? You have to select appropriate name as name of the procedure or predicate which you are selecting as the rule. So again, it should be written in small case only. It should be meaningful according to the rule you are creating, and you can take as many argument as you want. Okay. Now what all you are going to write in the body of the rule? In the body of the rule, you will write one or more facts. So what will happen here? Whenever parent Tom, comma, Bob is true, then only child Bob, comma, Tom is going to return you true. So whatever you have written on right side of the rule, if it is true, then your rule is going to return you true. If whatever you have written on the right side that returns to be false, then your rule is also going to return you false. Okay, don't bother right now much about rules, because in today's lab we are not going to write rules. We are going to focus more on writing facts only, as this is a new kind of environment. We are not going to hurry up or focus more on multiple things at times. So in next session, in next lab, when we'll be discussing rules, I'll once again explain what is head of the rule, what is body of the rule, and how we are going to write the rules. This is just for the sake of introduction. Queries. Once you have written a program, once you have written a Prolog program, how you are going to manipulate that program? Once you have written a Prolog program, you have provided some knowledge to computer. So you need to check that knowledge. Suppose in your program, you have written a single statement, which is written in blue letters here. Single fact, which says parent Tom, comma, Bob, full stop. What all questions you can ask to your program? Parent Tom, comma, Bob, full stop. That is the first question you can ask. If you ask this question, what it means? You are asking computer, tell me, is Tom parent of Bob as per the information you have? Computer will answer you true. Yes, Tom is parent of Bob as per the facts which you have provided to me. You may ask a question like parent Tom, comma, capital X. Okay, capital X is written on whose place? Place of kid, place of child. So what you are indicating here, I know name of the parent, but I don't know name of the child. So the question will be like, tell me, what is name of Tom's child? Tom is parent of whom? So what computer will say, let me refer to the facts I have. As per my information, if the parent's name is Tom, then the value of child X should be Bob. If you will ask very generic question like parent X, comma, Y, then it will go and check the name of the predicate matches. Yes, parent and parent is matching. So it will take the first argument Tom and store it in X, second argument Bob and store it in Y. So it will give you answer X is Tom, Y is Bob. So see, this is how Prolog is giving you answers. As we'll be executing a program over here right now also, I'll show you more. Okay, before we write the program, let us try to understand how you can convert facts to Prolog predicates. Let us practice that. Suppose the English fact says John is father of Susan. How we can write predicate for that? What is generic information here? Father. What are specific informations here? John and Susan. So what predicate we can write? Father in bracket John, comma, Susan. Okay. What is the second fact? John is the husband of Martha. So what is generic information here? Husband. What are specific information here? John and Martha. So how you will be writing predicate? Husband, John, comma, Martha. Now see, let me make it very clear that here writing argument in a specific order is not compulsory. I can write the same predicate like husband Martha comma John also. Because see, the name husband is decided by you. The sequence of argument is also decided by you. If I write husband Martha comma John, I need to remember myself that the first argument is name of wife and the second argument is name of husband. So that will be our worry to remember what first argument means and what second argument means. Prologue is not concerned on whatever order you are providing your arguments. Let us move ahead. John eats pizza. So what is specific generic information here? The verb eats. So we can select that as predicate. So eats in bracket John comma pizza. Again you can write it like pizza comma John also. But later wherever you use eats, you need to remember that the first argument means the food item, second means the name of the person. Okay. Susan eats pizza. So it will be eats Susan comma pizza. Martha eats pizza. Eats Martha comma pizza. Susan eats oranges. Once again eats will be the predicate. Then Susan comma oranges. Okay. John bought pizza for Martha. Now see, over here what is the generic verb or information? Bought. What are specific values? John, pizza and Martha. So we will create a predicate name bought and will pass John, pizza and Martha to it. So you can observe over here, first time we have created a predicate with 3 arguments. You can select 3 argument, 4 argument, 5 argument, any number of argument you want to select. But as many arguments you will add, that complicated your predicate will be. So don't do that. Susan is tired. What is generic information here? Tired. So that will be selected as name of predicate. What argument you are going to pass? Susan. Simple. But see, arguments which you are passing are the atoms, constants. So they should always be written in small case letters. Now how we are going to ask questions? So let us say in the first column, we have written English questions that we want to ask to Prolog once we have written the program. Suppose this is the program we have written. The right side, the second column is the program which we have written. All the facts are the facts we have written in our program. What all question we can ask to our program? So suppose we want to ask questions such as they are written in the first column. Second column indicates equivalent Prolog predicates. How you can ask question. Third column indicates what Prolog will answer you. So if you want to ask, is John father of Susan? How you will write predicate? Again you have to identify which is the generic relationship here, father. So father in bracket John comma Susan. So if we go back, do we have any fact saying father in bracket John comma Susan? Yes, fact number 1. So what Prolog will return you? True or yes. If you will ask, is Susan tired? What question you can ask? Generic information is tired. So tired in bracket Susan. What computer will reply you? Let me refer to the facts. Do you have any fact which says tired in bracket Susan? Yes, last one. So Prolog will return you yes, true. Is Martha tired? So what question you will ask to Prolog in form of predicate? Tired in bracket Martha. Let me go back and check. Do I have any tired predicate with Martha as argument? No. So what Prolog will return you? False or no. If you want to ask who is tired, what question you will ask? Means you are asking name of the person who is tired. You don't know the name, so you should use variable. So tired in bracket X. So what it will do? It will pick up tired and match with the last fact. Then X is the variable. So it will store the value of Susan in X. So you will get the value X equal to Susan. Who is husband of Martha? So what question you can raise over here? Husband in bracket. Now you are asking the name of husband. Wife's name is clear. So second argument, which is name of the wife, I will write as it is Martha. But you don't know name of the husband. So where variable should be written? As the first argument. So that is X. So husband X comma Martha. So once again we will go to program and we will check. Husband is matching with husband. Yes. X will hold which value? John. What is the second argument? Is it matching? Yes, Martha, Martha. So what will be the value of X here? X equal to John. Who eats pizza? So again we are asking name of the person. So variable should be used. So eats in bracket capital X comma pizza. So we will go back and check. So see there are three predicates, eats predicates. Actually there are four. But second argument pizza is matching in 3. Okay. So what should be your answer of X? In Prolog, even if the solution is found once, it will go ahead and keep on searching for more solution. This behavior of Prolog is called backtracking. So it will give you answer X equal to John, X equal to Susan, X equal to Martha. All three are going to be given in the answer. So first of all, it will say X equal to John, then you will press enter, it will give you X equal to Martha, you will press enter, it will give you X equal to Susan also. Okay. Who else eats pizza? So once again, if you will press enter, it will say you no, because there is no other person eating pizza as per this program. So see, don't worry if you don't feel it little bit strange. We are going to make simple programs to make you comfortable with Prolog. Okay, this is the first program we are going to perform. So you can observe over here, we have taken up, read first two statements. Elizabeth and Phillips have 3 children, Charles, Anne, Andrew. Diana and Charles have 2 children, William and Harry. So we need to write down program for this. Let us write program for this. I won't copy paste the program. I'll show you how you can write this program. Okay. So I'm just going to copy paste these 2 lines. Fine. The editor which I'm using, online editor which I'm going to use is Swish editor. The link is already posted in Google Classroom. If not, I'll post. So here it will ask you, you want to create a program or notebook? Let us create a program. Every Prolog program should be saved with .pl extension. Let me save this. Suppose okay. Already there is one file with the same name in my drive. So okay. Family one, already it is also there, but you understood how to save the file, so I won't save. Okay, so let me paste here what we want to do. Now what we are trying to do, we are trying to write over here predicates. So here we are talking about first couple, Elizabeth and Philip, and they are having 3 kids, Charles, Anne and Andrew. So what is generic information we have here? Parenthood. So parent is the relationship that we can assert over here. So how we can write this? Parent. See, there are 2 ways. The first way is I can directly write it like parent Elizabeth, comma Philip, comma Charles. So first 2 arguments indicates name of father, name of mother, and then name of the child. Okay? Are you getting this? Ternary relationship. But what if you have a single father or mother? They are also parents. So you cannot write any relationship without thinking generic possibilities. So we won't be preferring writing ternary relationship for parent, because even single father or single mother is also a parent. And we should be able to assert rule for them also. So we will use parent like binary relationship. I will first of all pick up name of first parent. Let me say Elizabeth. And the first child, Charles. Okay. Now Charles is also kid of, so parent. Charles is also kid of Phillips. So I will write Philip. Okay, it should not be Phillips, it should be Philip. That's my mistake. So Philip, comma Charles. Okay, are you getting this? So here also I should have a full stop. Here also I should have a full stop. So by writing these 2 statements, what we did? We have asserted over here a relationship, parent relationship between Elizabeth and Charles, Phillips and Charles. Okay. Now similarly, we have to write for Anna and Andrew also. So let me copy paste this. Okay. Because the couple is same, it will work. So in place of writing Charles, I'll write Anna. See, I am writing all the names in small case because they are constants. And Andrew. Are you getting how I am writing? Okay. So see, we have said that Elizabeth and Philip have a kid Charles. They have Anna also and they have Andrew also. Now see, it is not necessary that you should always write names like Elizabeth, Charles, then Philip, Charles. Elizabeth, Anna, Philip, Anna. You can also write all Elizabeth facts together. Like Elizabeth, Charles, Elizabeth, Anna, Elizabeth, Andrew. And then Philip, Charles, Philip, Anna, Philip, Andrew. Anyhow, you have to assert this information of parent. Okay, sequence is not important. For the same predicate, sequence in which you are passing argument is not important for the same predicate name. Now the second couple if we take up, then it will be parent in bracket Diana, comma, William. Okay, full stop. Then parent. Okay, I'm writing both Diana predicates to explain you it is also possible. So Diana, comma, Harry. See, whatever sequence you want to write, you can write. That's perfectly fine. Parent, Charles, comma, William. Okay, and parent, Charles, comma, Harry. Full stop. Okay, fine. So this is how we have written these two statements. All these are read. Why the first one is not read? Because these two statements are not satisfying the properties of Prolog program. Okay, fine. Now it is also read. So this is the full-fledged program we have written for asserting the information there. Before we run this program, let us write a small program to understand how Prolog queries are working. Okay. So suppose I have written tired Susan. Full stop. There is a single fact available over here. How I will check this? So the left side is the portion where you will be writing the program. The bottom right is where you have to write your question query to check how your program is working. And on top right, you will get your answer. So I may ask a question like tired in bracket Susan. See, when you raise the question, it is not compulsory to have full stop after it. But in program, every statement must terminate after with the full stop. So when I press run, see, on the top, first of all, it will show you the query that you have fired. And then it will give you the answer true or false. As the fact is matching, it will give you true. Suppose if you will ask over here a variable, tired in bracket X. And now I will execute. Then it will give, see, it is first of all matching tired with name tired here, perfectly matching. Then it will check the argument, X variable. So it will pick up this constant value and store in X. Okay. Now suppose I'll ask the question like this, that I'm checking for NA. NA is tired or not? Now do you have any fact which is saying tired NA? No. So it will pick up tired, match here. Yes, it is matching. It will pick up NA. NA is a constant name. It will check that constant name with Susan, which is again a constant name, and both are not matching. So it will say I don't have any such information available and hence false. Okay. Now suppose I will write tired NA full stop tired John full stop. Okay. Now if I'll run this, it will give you true. If I want to ask who, see, right now when it gave you true, it had a single solution available. So multiple solutions are not shown here. No button is there. Observe here. Now when I will write X, what question I am asking? Who all are tired? Run. X equal to Susan. See, tired is matching with first fact first. It will go in sequence one by one. So it will first of all match with tired Susan. And hence X equal to Susan is the first answer. Now observe over here, this panel was not available earlier. when the single solution was there. It is now highlighted. Why? Because multiple solutions are there. So to see the second solution, you have to press next. So see, what is the next triad it is matching? Na. So X equal to Na that you are getting here. Still third solution is there. So when you press next, it will give you X equal to John, tired John. So X equal to John. Now see, after X equal to John, the next button has disappeared. Why? Because there had been only 3 solutions over here, not more than that. Are you getting this? Suppose I will make mistake here in writing the name of the procedure. What will happen? See, procedure tire does not exist. So what it will do, it will try, whenever you write anything with round brackets, it will come to know this is procedure, means name of predicate. It will try to match it anywhere possible. But here it is not possible, and hence it will identify like you have used a function but you have not declared it. That kind of error. Okay. Now, suppose I am writing one more relationship here that eats, or let us say male John. Okay. Female Na. Full stop. I want to show you something very interesting. Female, let us say. So see, do you find any problem with these facts? All the name of the facts are correct. Okay. Let me write here instead of this male. All the name of predicates are correct. All the arguments are correct. It should run perfectly fine, right? So you will go here and you will try to check any predicate, male, female, tired, anything. It should work. Okay. It's giving you error. What is the error? See, male are not together in the source file. Male predicates are not together. So what is compulsion here? All the predicates with the same name should be written together. Means the problem is here. Between two similar predicate names, I have inserted another predicate. So if I write like this, and now when I run, just a second, there is some problem here. Delete. Okay. Cannot run due to syntax error. Check query window. Okay, it's executing. That's why it is giving you error. Oh, I'm extremely sorry. See, this kind of mistake we make, huh? Insert has been pressed, hence it was happening. See, X equal to Susan. Again, you will get the answer, right? Okay, this is, I had pressed abort button, that's why, otherwise it will give you all 3 answers. Okay. So see, it is now working perfectly, not giving error. Why? Because all tired predicates, same name predicates are together. All male predicates, same name predicates are together. And all female predicates, same name predicates are together. Are you getting what I'm trying to say here? Okay. Now let us come back to this program which we have written. I guess you are a bit clear how we are writing predicates now. We will try to check how all we can execute this program. So the first question that we can ask here is parent, let us say Elizabeth, comma, Charles, full stop. You may write full stop, you may not write full stop in query. True, yes. Okay, next. See, this is very interesting. Why it gave you true and false both? That question must come in your mind. Because in your predicates, Elizabeth, comma, Charles is written only once. Then why it is giving you false also? It is satisfying over here. Why false is coming? Prolog works on the principle of backtracking. The meaning is it will check all possible solutions. So what happens here? For parent predicate, how many matches it will find? It will find 10 matches. Okay. Now out of these 10 matches, in how many facts? Elizabeth is there as the first argument. 2. See. Elizabeth Charles, Elizabeth Na, Elizabeth Andrew, 3 basically. So what it is doing over here, first of all, for Elizabeth Charles, it will return you true. Then it will move ahead. For Elizabeth Anne and Elizabeth Andrew, it will return you false. That is called backtracking concept. Okay. Now we are going to move ahead and we'll ask a question with variables. Suppose I'll ask a question like this. The question is, give me name of X where X Elizabeth is parent of X. Where is Elizabeth is parent of whom? So see, Elizabeth is parent of 3 kids. So first answer is Charles, the second answer is Anne, and the third answer is Andrew. Okay. So just a second. Okay. So this is how it is going to proceed here. Now moving ahead, if I have to ask question like this, that I want to replace this first argument by X, and then I'll be asking question like this, Harry. Who is a parent of Harry, that I want to ask? Harry has 2 parents. Just a second, Harry. Is there any spelling mistake? No. Charles and... Okay. So if I'm asking the question like, oh, this is capital X. Okay. So who is parent of Harry? So it will return you Diana is parent of Harry. Okay. Why it is not giving this? Again, I have made a mistake. It should have been comma. Let me run again. Fine. See, X equal to Diana, and then when I press next, X equal to Charles. So Harry has 2 parents. So value of X equal to Diana for this and X equal to Charles for this. Are you getting this? There is no answer given because there is no other solution where Harry is there present. Okay. So these are the also, let us say, the most generic possibility of asking question. So we may ask like parent X comma Y and run. So it will first of all match here. So what will be the value of X? Elizabeth. What will be the value of Y? Charles. Then press next. So what it will match? The second value. What will be the value of X? Philip. What will be the value of Y? Charles. Are you getting this? Prolog will be checking predicates one by one in sequence. So the third, it will process the third predicate, then fourth predicate, and fifth predicate. Then if you'll immediately press, it will press abort button and you will get error. Okay. And the last one is Charles and Harry. So you won't have next button after that. So I guess after this, you got a little bit of picture how to write down Prolog predicates, how to ask questions. See, this is execution portion. What you are doing on right side is execution. What you are doing on left side is the program. Okay. So let us come back to the presentation we had been discussing. Okay. So this is the program we have already done. These are questions we have asked. Now what you have to do today, the first program that you have to perform is this itself, the same program which we did before a few minutes. The second program is this. What you have to do is I have given a family chart. You have to once again write parent relationship, but the atoms, constant values, you have to assert as per the chart given over here. How you will do? Suppose I will take the first couple first. Then parent in bracket Paul, comma, Petunia. Parent Helen, comma, Petunia. Then second kid of the same couple. Parent Paul, comma, Lily. Parent Helen, comma, Lily. So the first pair is sorted. So we'll go next. Parent Albert, comma, James. Parent Ruth, comma, James. Similarly, you have to do for all the couples and all the kids. So all the predicates you will have to write. No information should be missing. So what you have to do here? You have to not only write down parent relationship, but you have to write down gender relationship also. Now, gender relationship can be written in 2 ways. Either you write unary relationship, that is male, female, or you can write gender also, Paul, comma, male, Helen, comma, female. But we will prefer the unary relationship most of the time. So still you are, whatever way you are comfortable, you can write a unary relationship or binary relationship. Okay. So in the second program, what you have to do, the same tree which has been given here, you have to write program for that. Apart from parent, you have to write down the gender information. You can assume from the name, like Paul is male, so male in bracket Paul, female in bracket Helen, but all male predicates should be written together, all female predicates should be written together. So male Paul, male Albert, male Vernon, male James, male Dudley, male Harry. Then female Helen, female Ruth, female Petunia, female Lily. That way. Is it okay? So that is what you have to do in second program. Let us do the very quickly understand the third program. In third program, what you are doing, there is a directed graph given. You have to write a program to assert the knowledge about directed graph. So see, what you are doing, going over here, we are providing the information about which vertices are connected with each other with the direct edge. So if you read this graph in sequence from A to B, there is a direct edge available. Now see, it is a directed graph, so the direction is very, very, very important. So when I say there is an edge from A to B, I can write a predicate name, edge, B edge, any name you are comfortable with, you can select. I have selected over here name edge. So I will write edge. The first edge is from A to B. So edge A comma B. Again, you have to write AB in small case letter. Then next is edge B to C, edge C to E, edge E to F, edge E to D, and edge D to B. Simple. So these are the facts that you have to write in your program. That's it. Program is written. Now after writing this program, what you will do? On the right side, you have to ask these all queries, and other queries you can check as well. If I check this edge B comma A, what it will do? It will go in sequence and check. Do you have any edge fact with B and A as parameter? B, A, B, A, B. No. There is no fact which says from B to A there is an direct edge available. So it will give you false. If you check edge C comma E, do you have any directed edge from C to E? Yes. Third one. So it will return you true. Edge B comma D. Do you have any directed edge available from B to D? Starting from B going to D? No. It is from D to B, not B to D. So it will return you false. So these are the questions you can ask as queries after writing the program. So this is the third program you have to do. The fourth program is directed graph A, and the fifth program is undirected graph B. So once again, what you have to do in the directed graph, the program number 4, the vertices and edges are given. You have to simply write edge relationship. So it will be something like edge A comma C, edge A comma B, edge A comma D, and so on. For every edge, you have to write down edge relationship and check with different queries whether your program is working perfectly or not. What will be different in undirected graph? In undirected graph, you don't have any arrow available. So what happens here? When I say there is an edge from A to B, at the same time, I will say there is an edge from B to A also, which was not the case in directed graph. In directed graph, the direction is given. So that if there is an edge from A to C, the reverse will be there only if a directed edge is present, not otherwise. In undirected graph, one edge indicates two relationships. So what happens here? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 edges are there. How many predicates you will write? 16. Why? Edge in bracket A to B, edge in bracket B to A also, edge in bracket B to C, edge in bracket C to B also. So for every edge, there should be two edge relationship written. Okay? And then with all possible queries that we have checked, with variables, without variables, with wrong atoms, with appropriate atoms, with present absent information, please check whether your program is working correctly or not. Now how you are going to run your Prolog program? The steps like you have to running the Prolog program involves creating the file, saving the file, loading the file, and finally asking some questions. If you use SWI Prolog, then you are going to save your file with .pl extension. For example, the name of the file is family.pl. Then in SWI Prolog, you have to execute either with consult command or using square brackets. Right now, don't focus on this. We will see this in third or fourth lab when we'll be working on SWI Prolog actually on our machine. Okay. So this is what we have already seen. Swish Prolog. on Google, just you have to search for SWISH space Prolog, and the first link will be this. Okay, so this is how we have created the program, where on the left side you have program, on the right side bottom you ask the question, and on the top you are going to get the queries. Fine. So these are the 5 programs you have to do in today's lab term. These are very basic programs, and what I expect, please don't copy paste from the PPT which I'm going to upload in your Google Classroom. Why? Because see, Prolog is entirely new for you. If you will try, and it will hardly take 5 minutes to write one program, because it's the instructions are so simple, you don't need to remember any syntax. But if you write on your own, it will generate confidence in you. Okay, so please do follow the instructions properly and perform 5 programs. The first is the basic parent relationship program, which is already given. You have to rewrite that. The second is we have provided the slide number from which you have to take the facts, the tree which was given, but additionally male and female information must be inserted. The third is a directed graph, fourth is also directed graph, and the fifth one is undirected graph. Okay, so these are the programs which you are supposed to perform today. That's it. If you have any query or doubt, then you can ask. Anyone has any doubt? Okay. If you don't have any query or doubt, then you can disconnect and perform the programs. As and when you get any query or doubt, me and Nirali ma'am will be online for entire 2 hours duration. You can come back and ask the query to us at any time. I have already uploaded this PPT in the form of PDF in your Google Classroom. So you can refer as and when in sequence you are performing the program. If you have any query or doubt, ask, or you may leave the meet.